All right, welcome everyone to the Be Curious podcast by Barton Essentials. I'm your host, Melissa Barton, and this is that great space where curious people want to live well, learn new things, and create a healthier life from the inside out. Here we talk about natural wellness and essential oils and being toxin conscious about our living and just getting in a mindset that helps our lives be simple every day with great practices to help you connect with yourself. So, whether you're here to learn, explore, or just get a little bit inspired, you're definitely in the right place. So, let's get curious together. And today, I'm so excited to have Corrie Ratzat, who is a diamond leader with doTERRA and a founder 2.0. She is phenomenal, you guys. She's been with doTERRA for more than a decade. She is one of the top leaders in the company. She brings in enrollment. She has a thriving, incredible team. And to hear her story about how she got started with this business and how she even found doTERRA, first of all, you'll chuckle a little bit. But also, you're just going to be so moved by all that she has going on. And I'm going to let Corrie take it away for a second and tell us, first of all, how you found doTERRA. How did this come into your life?
Hi, Melissa. Thank you. And
Yeah.
thanks for the nice intro. So my journey into doTERRA is kind of funny because I am that person that you probably would have thought wanted to share with, but you knew that they'd say no. So you might have held back. And I definitely was that person. So I grew up with asthma. So I've avoided fragrance my whole life. And it wasn't until, gosh, it was 2013, early 2012, maybe even late 2011, when I was first introduced to doTERRA. And it was through my husband's parents who lived in Alaska. And, you know, Alaskans are a little bit more rugged. We take matters into our own hands. I wasn't living in Alaska anymore by that time, but they were visiting. And they came down and they pulled out all of these essential oils at my house. And I'm watching my mother-in-law roll on past tense. She goes, "Oh, this helps me with my migraines." And I'm like, what is she doing? And anyway, and I just was kind of just brushing it off. And I told my husband, "Your parents are being pretty kooky right now. They think that perfume is going to help them with some problems." And but it wasn't until what really changed my perspective on essential oils was when I saw what they could do for you and what they did for me. So in this, maybe it was the next visit after they went home, but they came back and I had been battling recurring bouts of strep throat. I was really overwhelmed. During that time, we were losing our house. We tried to hold on, but we lost our house in the market crash. I had 3 young kids. It was just the toughest time in my life. We were financially just totally broken. I was emotionally broken and physically sick all the time. And my father-in-law visiting told me that he thought he was also getting strep throat because I was getting recurring strep. And I told him, "This is the gnarliest strep you've ever experienced. We've got to take you to urgent care. You don't understand. I cannot get rid of it." And he said, "You know, I really want to try my oils." And that was that moment when I was like, they are crazy.
You're super sick. You're like taking all the medicine, barely hanging on, and he wants to use
essential oils. And I'm like, what is he talking about? So I did go, that was when I was like, okay, Jake, this is getting serious. Your parents are like taking this too far. So anyway, I get on antibiotics. My father-in-law, it does this in steamer or gargle of lemon, peppermint, oregano, and tea tree.
Right.
And the next day, I asked him if I should take him to urgent care. And he says, "No, I feel a lot better. The oils worked." And I'm like, oh, he did not have strep then. And so they go back to Alaska. I get strep throat again. They left me with some oils. I was so desperate. And I just thought nobody is ever going to know. I'm just going to secretly do exactly what I watched my father-in-law do. And within an hour, my entire life changed. And
Wow.
I now can't
So
stop.
those perfumes, I
Exactly.
actually helped. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that launched my journey in research. I couldn't take it for face value because I was such a skeptic. I had to understand the science of what was happening. So I started looking through research, and I didn't realize how much research there was on plant medicine. We just
Mhm.
don't hear about it.
Mhm.
And that was really exciting, but actually really infuriating. Like, I was upset that nobody had ever told me. And so I have really made it my job to share this. I want other people to know we have tools for being well and supporting our bodies. And it doesn't replace Western medicine by any means, but we have support and we need to know how to use it.
Okay. So you deep dive into this research and found that these are working and that there's not just, they aren't just perfumes. They aren't just these snake oils, as we hear people call them, and all this. But why what kind of prompted you to keep using it? Like, you obviously felt results, but was there something more going on with your health that you were like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this, I'm going to keep trying this?
Yeah, that piqued my curiosity when I realized, well, it worked for this. And this has been a continuous problem that I've had in my life for years now. What
Yeah.
else can my family utilize plants for? And
Mhm.
we just started having just go down the checklist that we were able to address chronic issues that we had really thought we just had to deal with. And then I realized, oh, no, we have tools. And so,
Yeah.
and every time I had a win, it was just one more reason I wanted to tell other people.
Okay. So now we're moving into telling other people about it, right? So you said you were in a bad place in your life. You had lost your house. Things were not looking good. What kind of was the twist or the prompt, I guess, to say, okay, I think I can tell people about this. I think there's a way I can make money with this. I think this is a job for me right now to maybe help me with my life. What was that like? Where was that transition like?
So this was an interesting transition because my self-confidence was just in the tank by this point in my life. I just felt like I'd made wrong turns so many times, and being so financially broke is like just really, it's just hard to be seen when you're struggling so hard. But I really did want to help people. So at first it was just because my passion for helping somebody else was more important than myself. But I also had this weird mindset. And this is kind of almost like the poverty cycle. I got locked into this mindset that you work hard and you earn your money and then you do good on the side. And so I was doing that with doTERRA. I was working multiple jobs and volunteering at my kids' schools. I was so tired. But I felt like, that's what you do. You work really hard. And then whenever I could squeeze it in, I would try to help other people and share the information. And I thought that if I was making money from sharing the oils with other people, that somehow that devalued what I had to offer.
Mm,
Weird.
yeah,
But
that's weird, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
and it was like, honest to goodness, it was like a voice woke me up in the middle of the night one night and told me, it was a divine intervention. It was, you are supposed to help people, and you need to earn a living and thrive by helping people. And I realized that's what I should be doing. My
Hmm.
job should be helping people. And so
Right.
it really shifted my mindset. And still, that was hard because I wasn't super confident. I had to do a prayer every morning, and I still do. And it's, guide me to somebody that I can help today and give me the confidence to share what I know. And
Mhm.
I have to say that over and over again, because having the confidence to share what you know it is a part of it. And that's hard for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Hearing no from somebody when you really genuinely want to help them doesn't feel really good. Um,
No.
but the people that you end up helping along the way when you share this information, it's tenfold. It doesn't, that the person who blows you off or thinks you're silly the way I did with my in-laws. Oh my gosh, thank goodness they weren't scared to tell me. And I was not nice about it. I was like rolling my eyes. So Anyway, so that shift was the first part. But then it was, how do I build this business when I can't even afford to buy food? Like, how am I supposed to do this? With doTERRA, there is an order minimum to earn your full commissions. And I totally understand why that's there, because you need to be using the product to really share genuinely how
Right.
how the products can help. If you're not
The
living
product of the product.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
How could you share honestly, like, oh, this really works if you aren't actually taking it? Yeah.
and so I understood why that was in place, but I'm like, I can't afford to buy the oils. I'm like going to the food bank every Wednesday to get food for my family. I'm counting pennies, seriously, counting change at the end of the month to cover rent. Like it was horrible. So how am I going to do this? And so I just got really creative in how I shared. And at first, when I couldn't afford my own full order, I would put out, just a little text out, or even on Facebook, or to the moms at the school, like, hey, I'm going to do my doTERRA order. Is there anything that you'd like me to order this month? And I did it in a smart way, though. I sold retail. If I ordered, I wasn't giving my discount. I don't call the whole neighborhood when I'm going to Costco to see who wants me to pick up, with my membership for them. That's exhausting. You can't do that with doTERRA. So I would sell retail, and I would usually get at least one or two orders, like, oh yeah, I'd love a lavender, or oh, I could use a deep blue. So that was happening a lot. But what I would do then is that would help me cover the order, because they would buy the retail value of the order, their one-offs from me. But anytime that somebody had more than one item, that they would give me a list, like, oh, I'd love On Guard lavender and a deep blue. Well, being that person now is going to get a better deal if they have their own discount. And I wasn't even doing it to be strategic. I was doing it to give them a better price. And so then I would say, you know what, your order is a little bit bigger. Why don't we give you the discount yourself? And then you can use it moving forward. Your price will be better than what you've been paying for when you buy them one off from me. Okay. And this happened. And, every month there would be somebody. And then it is just growing and growing. And then here they're telling the next person and the next person. And before I knew it, me just giving them the better price, because I genuinely want to do that, was starting to come back, because you get fast start every time somebody gets that discount. So then the fast start started coming in, and that could cover my orders. So it was just being strategic.
The commissions coming in helped pay for your products, and that's how you got started. I love it. Corrie, you're a genius.
I was doing something right. I swear, I feel like it was divine intervention, because Melissa, I want to share this right now. I don't know if I'll have the chance later, but I really was stuck in a mindset pretty much my entire life, where there's those people who have it together. There's those people who make all the money, and they're making an impact, and they're doing all the good things out in the world, and they look like they have it so figured out, right? And then there's the people like me who I kind of just don't know what I'm doing.
That was definitely a mindset, because you look like those people that are doing all the things. So
this is what has happened.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the other side. I'm making all this money. I'm helping people. I'm making an impact. And I'm realizing, oh, I'm that person, and I'm still kind of a mess. And I'm like, oh, it turns out we're all just doing our best. Nobody's perfect. I am such a wreck sometimes, but you know what? My heart is 100% about doing the best that I can and helping other people. And it doesn't have to look perfect. As I'm talking, just so you guys know, my cat loves to come be in every meeting. We love.
Yeah.
His hair is like coming up in my face. My house is a mess. it's okay.
It's okay. That's what this podcast is all about. Being real, being you big, and whatever that is. I came to this podcast with wet hair because I was a mess too getting here. So
Yeah, it turns out, I don't know if there are people who actually have it all figured out and they're so perfect. Great. I think they're amazing. But I'm just starting to realize that anybody, if I can do this, anybody can do this.
yeah.
It's just staying the course and learning as you go, learning from your mistakes, learning from your wins. We're growing every day.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Looking back, were you actually searching for this? Like, if you really think about it?
Yeah, I didn't know what it looked like, but I will put my heart and my everything in when I care. And
Yes.
I would do that for every job. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm a nighttime bartender, and I'm just giving my everything. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And so I'm like, I really did. I wanted something that I could put my everything into, and my reward matched my effort. It's my thing. I can make it as big as I want to make it, and I'm able to. And
Mhm.
but this is the scary thing. Like, I couldn't have invested in a big business or taken such a huge undertaking. Like, I'm going big and I'm going to launch my own business. Like, that
Right.
is such an overwhelming thought.
Well,
And
you were barely making meals. You were going to the food bank. So you couldn't have done it. You were like, I don't even
really,
know how I'm going to make my minimums to do orders. Like, I got to figure this out. Right.
out of the picture, nobody would have given me a business loan at that point in my life anyway, right? But
Yeah.
also, mentally, I would not have ever been ready for that. And so
Mhm.
that's what I love about doTERRA is you can start small, but you
Yeah.
don't have to stay small. But maybe you want to.
Mhm.
That's okay. You can do whatever you want with this. It's not overwhelming or scary. It's whatever you make it. And that's
It's
so special.
yours. It's your
Yeah.
business. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So looking like throughout your 10 years with doTERRA, what I kind of know the answer to this just from what you're saying, but what keeps you connected to this work? What makes you get up every day and do it?
Um, Learning new things about how plants work
Mhm.
in our bodies is so fascinating to me. And the science is moving so fast that I can't get enough of it. But also making somebody else's life better
Better. Yeah.
is it just drives me. If I can help somebody in a day, like that, that's the best feeling, however small it is. Just
Yeah.
helping somebody with their headache at that moment, or just sometimes just being there to listen to somebody, because a lot of times people they just want to be heard. When you go to the doctor's office, they have this much time for you, and there's so much more beyond just having a migraine. The
Mhm.
emotional impact of dealing with chronic migraines, that maybe we can't fix somebody's migraine, right?
Mhm.
We're
Mhm.
not. It's Plants are amazing, but they're not like cure-alls. But the fact is, we're in a position as a wellness advocate to sit with somebody and just hear them. And sometimes that's all somebody needs, is just to know that they're being heard. And we get to do that when we're sharing.
And you yourself, your health has been impacted in the most positive way. I mean, so you had asthma, you were on meds.
Yeah, I was taking anxiety medication because my life was just crazy, constant anxiety. I was using albuterol almost daily back then.
Mhm.
Um, Multiple things. I don't want to. I don't want to get in trouble for
Right.
like
Yeah, you
throwing
don't have to say all the things.
medical issues out there, but
Yeah.
uh, just a lot of things that my family was dealing with that I realized don't need to take over our lives. We have tools for them. So I'm
And
really proud to say I don't take anxiety medication anymore.
yeah.
Uh, in fact, I don't use any medications over the counter. People are shocked. They're like, "What? You don't even need this over the counter stuff." I have the tools and I
Yeah.
know how to use them. And that's what I want to make sure other people know how to use what's available.
And that motivates you to share, that's the beautiful thing about this business too, is it helps you, but you get to help other people and you get to see that smile on their face and see that change in their life. And it's a beautiful thing.
Getting that thank you. I just got one right before this meeting. Somebody telling me how, she just the text to me, the DigestZen has helped me more than I can even tell you. Thank you so much. That
Oh,
just like made my day. Just that simple
amazing.
thank you.
That makes me happy to hear that. What kind of habits, or if you were to give someone a little tip, that's maybe getting started in this business or thinking about this business, what is your like habits that made a difference in your life that you just kept doing over and over and you kept growing and you kept going, even in the times that were lean when people were telling you no and that you're using perfumes and what, like all that. What little habits kept you going?
I think the most important thing when you decide to work for yourself and become an entrepreneur is that you have to treat your job like you're showing up for a job that has a boss that's going to fire you if you don't show up for work that day. This is the biggest downfall, I think, for a lot of people. When you work for yourself, it's really easy to go, I don't feel like it today, right?
Mm,
Like,
yeah,
but when you have a job, when you have a 9 to 5, you don't get to do that.
yeah.
Maybe you have your planned vacation days or a sick day here and there, but you don't just get to wake up and go, I would rather go to the beach today.
Hmm.
Uh, where you can do that as an entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
that is kind of the sticky spot.
You're right. It's the good and the bad.
Yeah, because you still have to get up. I get up every day and I treat my job as if I'm still working for somebody else
Yeah.
because I am, in a sense. I have that control. Knowing that I have that power is super cool, that I could just say, I don't feel like it today. But I still show up. I show up every day that
Yeah.
I committed to showing up. And I think that makes a big difference. And that's a challenge.
Oh, yeah. We all struggle with that challenge when you're your own boss. It's definitely easy to be like, what is it? They say the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do, or something like that. Like they're the easy things, but they're also easy to not do them. And so that's the key, right? It's showing up.
Discipline. And so that's really my biggest daily practice, is that discipline of treating this job as just like I would have treated any other job
Mm-hmm.
where I worked for somebody else.
Sure. So, what would you tell someone who's maybe curious, hesitant to start, like, I can't do this? Yeah, what would you say?
That's a hard one because people don't listen until they're ready to hear it. But um, honestly, there is nothing to lose. If
Mm-hmm.
you do nothing, you'll be in the same spot you were before you did nothing. But if
Right.
you do something, you just have no idea of the doors that can open along the journey. So I've just learned to um, dive in, lean in to something that seems a little intimidating. Lean in, just step through it, just see what's on the other side, and
Be curious.
be curious.
Yeah.
It's just so cool what
Mm,
happens, how it just expands and expands. And don't wait. Don't wait to have it all put together. Don't wait till your finances are all right, or you're done with school, or your kids are a little older, or this or that. I will tell you, it will be messy next year. It will be messy 10 years from now. The
mhm.
difference is if you start now,
Yeah.
you have a little more cushion in your life when the messy things come in. So I
Yeah.
still have the crazy stuff in my life. The difference is I don't have to, like, I'm not financially in crisis. I just
Yeah.
said, just a month or two ago to my husband, I said, it's so crazy. Like, when I need something or want something, I can just go purchase it.
Yeah.
That's never happened in my adult life. There
That
used
feels
to be planning and like, oh, if we can have, but like the most basic things I had to budget in. And oh, I want that. Well, maybe, 6 months from now, if I can really it's not like that now. And I don't know, that makes all the crazy just a little easier. I'm not gonna lie. Being able to afford things is nice.
I know that this is fairly personal, and I know that you guys had a pretty serious tragedy. Because I know you, so I'm digging a little bit deeper here. Do you want to share a little bit about how doTERRA kept you through a pretty hard time? And you can share as much or as little of that as you want, but I think it's pretty powerful because you're talking about how it's crazy all the time. And if you hadn't started in your crazy and worked through how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? When this one particular thing happened in your life, doTERRA kept you going in a way that you couldn't believe. And I don't know if that's something that you want to share or not, but if you do, it would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm happy to share. Because it was crazy, emotional, but crazy. And this is so weird because right now I'm like, was that in 2023 or 2024? What do you know? When
23, I think. I think when I
that's how crazy. Okay, so here we are, almost 3 years. That sounds about right. So about 3 years ago, in June of 2023, my husband Jake was in a terrible motorcycle accident in the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday. He was on a cruise, and he was hit by a drunk driver head on a highway. And our whole lives were just flipped upside down in minutes. It was horrifying. But with all of that, I had tools. It was pretty amazing to be able to show up at the hospital. And before we know exactly what's going on, when they finally let me in, I was able to, I'm already applying frankincense to his brainstem right there in the ER. And that, giving me the comfort knowing that I have something for this traumatic brain injury. But this was the moment that really it all came together for me when I realized I have something, and thank God that I had invested my time and my energy into this business, because at that moment I didn't know if my husband would ever be able to work again. I didn't know if he was ever going to be the same again, if his brain would ever come back. um, and I and I was also at a pivotal moment in my career where I was working to become a founder with doTERRA. I'd been working on it for about like 3 years, maybe since 2020. And it was the final stretch. I was
final stretch,
almost there.
right? Yeah.
We
I
were,
remember we were
and I had that moment of I could stop everything and be with my husband in the hospital room, or I could be with my husband right now, but make sure that I completed this goal, because I knew if I invested into my doTERRA business like I had been, and I didn't give up at a hard point,
Mhm.
the pay would be tenfold. And I would know that my husband would be okay. If I was forever taking care of my vegetable husband, which he's not, he did so great. His healing has been miraculous. But I thought, I need this. And so I was at my husband's side, but I was also running my business. I didn't stop. And I reached my goal while my husband was, I think he was home from the hospital. But that month in June, I completed that goal and I became a founder. And I knew everything would be okay no matter what, because doTERRA was there for my family, because I've invested in my business. So I don't know, that's not a very clear version of the
No,
story.
it's great because you still had your income. You weren't worried about money. You weren't worried about all those things. Like it wasn't like you were back where you started. You still had this income that you had worked and you had built, and it was still coming in.
And I did stop. I mean, I was fully present with my husband for a few days while we figured out how serious everything was. But I didn't just turn it off. I continued to get paid while I was needing to be fully present for my family, because that's the gift of doTERRA. But I also knew that I needed to push for this goal, because that would also continue to return to my family for years to come. And it is. It's
Yeah.
just beautiful.
And it's still coming back to you. Yeah. It's amazing how, so you were still showing up even when you definitely didn't feel like showing up, and you were showing up for your husband, you were showing up in your business, you were showing up everywhere. And the payout was so huge. And I I guess if you could go back and talk to yourself on day one, what would you say?
Oh gosh, I would say take this seriously.
Yeah.
Treat this like the business it is. Don't
Yes.
be scared. Get out of your own way. Because, like, honestly, it's such a blessing. And almost all of us, it's kind of human nature to self sabotage. I think a lot of us get in our own way.
Oh
And
yeah.
sometimes it's just like, just roll with it. The
Yeah.
universe is conspiring, right?
It is. Oh
For
yeah. It's
to,
always after you, needling in your brain, giving you a hard
you
time.
know what? It really, things want, it wants to work out for you.
Mm.
Sometimes you just got to step out of the way or kind of tumble down the hill. Just let it go, roll with it. Just
Sometimes physically rolling with it helps. Yeah. Oh, well, all right. I feel like we've had a lot of curiosity questions answered. We've definitely talked about wellness through this time. Let's talk a little bit of fun. So, what is your favorite oil right now? What are you currently using? We can't have a favorite oil. It's like picking a favorite
and
child. I know this. But
tell you the one I use the most.
what's your jam?
Yeah, Copaiba.
Yeah.
Copaiba has been such a blessing for me. I didn't have any adaptive. I use that a lot when I'm feeling anxious. And right now I don't have any. I left it at my office, and here I'm at home today.
Yeah.
And but I've got my Copaiba, and I just put 3 drops under my tongue. I've got something weird on my skin. I got my Copaiba. Uh,
Mhm.
Dealing with a sick chicken. I've got my Copaiba. It just comes in handy.
I
So
love that you said chicken. Everybody thinks, oh, essential oils, you can't use them with your pets. You are the pet woman for sure. And you use your essential oils all the time with all of them, including your kitty.
yes. Oh yeah, Mooch loves them.
Which,
And
yeah.
yeah, people, I hear that all the time. You can't diffuse because you have pets. Oh goodness, no. I think I have 12 diffusers in my house. I have 2 very healthy cats. And yeah, and I use them a lot with my chickens.
Mhm.
I can truly say using oils has saved my chicken's life multiple times. So
Yes.
yeah, they're amazing.
That's great. All right. So Copaiba. Well, one last fun question because I know you love music. You probably have some sort of band t-shirt on right now, actually, if I'm guessing. Oh,
But
it's doTERRA. Look at you. You're so good. Usually you've got something.
yeah, yes.
If your wellness journey had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, you're gonna laugh probably, and a lot of people might not know this, but the song that always comes to my head is "You've Got Another Thing Coming" by Judas Priest. And you guys, if you are a rocker fan or you like Judas Priest, listen to that song, and maybe sometime when you're just like, "Ugh, it's so hard," and then you play that song, and you'll be like, "What? No, I got this."
I got this.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit around and watch the world go by.
No.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Corrie, for taking the time with us today. We really appreciate it. And it's been fun getting to know you a little bit more. I love that little song tip. I'll keep that in mind. I could do that. And you guys, my little curious ones out there, if you like this podcast, be sure and follow us, like us, stay with us because we've got more interviews coming. We want you to stay curious. We want you to get out there and be well because of that curiosity and have some fun. That's what life is all about. Be you big. And we'll see you back here next time. Love you all. All right, stop.